The minute dust-like entities, repeatedly making random contact with one another, weave together a city, an ecosystem, and a spiritual sphere. In the space between order and chaos, there are those who take root as if adrift, like weeds growing in the crevices of walls, like small markets unfolding in the corners of the city. The heat emitted by the chaos in the back alleys is a torrent of life that cannot be scooped up by the rigid framework of the system. It deviates from the rules, yet lives on a strange equilibrium. Through collision and friction, all the foreign substances create a new order, choosing fusion as a form of proliferation rather than elimination. It is a celebration of the obscenity and mixture of life, a defiance of the fiction of purity, the hustle and bustle of the city, the marketplace where different languages intermingle, the dust glistening in the sunlight, the neon signs peeling off, the smell of spices wafting in the air late at night. All of these things create a chaotic yet miraculous harmony. We live together in an openness that never closes, never establishes itself, while being filled with chaos. This means that each individual is constantly transforming, influencing each other, and transforming into something else. What is pure is fragile. It is in the silence of the excluded, of the discarded, that new life springs forth. In the place of mingling, life mingles, erodes, parasitizes, resonates, and joins hands with that which is different. In the back alleys of the city, peeling layers of posters trace the accumulation of memories. Different times occupy the same space. The past and the present quietly muddle together. The smell of exhaust and oil, the reverberations of unspoken words, the fragments of history stuck to the peeling walls. These are the resonance of things that overflow and fall out of a logical order. The sound of countless footsteps piled up on the street, pushing each other out of existence, never breaking apart. Here the boundaries between high and low dissolve, and those who huddle together mix together as a random inevitability. Life seeping through the cracks of order. It is an obscene yet fertile force of symbiosis. Things that refuse the equilibrium of the norm, constantly multiply and deviate, and fill in the gaps in the world as foreign substances that blend in but never dissolve. Like weeds taking root in the cracks of asphalt, the impulse of life that continually springs up cracks the homogenized world. In a space where everything is arranged in an orderly fashion, neither fermentation, dialogue, nor deviation can occur. The obscenities are like intersections, rubbing against each other, and the creation that emerges from the collisions and coincidences that transcend calculation is alive and well. In the shadow of the clean and polished city, life wriggles in complex entanglements. Glamour and silence, pollution and purity, equilibrium and deviation. The world continues to breathe as these opposites intersect. It is a kind of festival that transcends the norm. Homogenized tranquility is a sign of death, and a place where heterogeneous things are intermingled is a place where life is conceived. The inorganic sky reflected in the high-rise glass is more emptiness than the reflection of a murky pool of water in an alleyway. Here, purity is muddy, and muddiness nourishes life. The search for purity is a monopoly on one value, a desecration of the diversity of life. The foreign finds a place here, and an unintended symbiosis begins. It is funny and obscene, but it is an ecosystem. The essence of life resides in this place where self and other, chaos and order, decay and rebirth intersect. There is a kind of battle, the origin of life's energy, and an affirmation of life that stirs beyond the boundaries of order. This world is out of the orbit of purified order, and breathes in an obscene web of myriad intentions and coincidences. In a corner of the city, for example, weeds emerge from the cracks of moss-covered concrete in a rain-soaked alleyway, or a spider that nestles in the darkness under an elevated railway, or a bird of the night that chirps in the blinking neon lights. There is no ideal form to be found here, but only the wildness of people who live their lives in their own ways, mixing, intersecting, or colliding with each other. Symbiosis is not a harmonious balance, but rather a momentary equilibrium, created through friction and conflict between different things. Microorganisms and soil, light and shadow, decay and germination. Things that cohabit, blurring the boundaries between them and others, proliferate as they mingle, and sometimes take on their own forms while melting into each other. Like a plant growing wild in a corner of the city, it continues to transform into new forms, taking in fragments of other life,